Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Sagittarius in January 2020. What is going on, Sagittarius? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. Alright, Sag, it is the new year. What's up? How was it? How was your New Year's Eve? I hope if you celebrated the ringing in of the new year, I hope you had a good time. I hope that you did so safely. As 2020 is in the rear view, technically, not everything that it brought into our lives is actually wrapped up yet. So at this time, Sagittarius, I hope that you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. And I hope that you are taking very good precautions and care of yourselves. Yeah. But again, if you did celebrate, I hope it was a good time. I'm recording this before New Year, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Still up in the air for me personally, but anyway. Sag, new year, new way of doing things here on the channel a little bit. This is the general overall view or review for you for the month, but we're going to do half of it off screen. So that's what those three cards lying there are all about, and then we're going to do some more actual live pulls on camera, sort of combining the two ways in which I normally do readings. And yeah, we're still going to get you a good well, I hope it's a good message. But I've obviously done the 8 signs before you, and it feels good, this new method. I feel it's a sort of fresher way for me to approach doing the reading, so hopefully you enjoy it as well. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Enough of the rambling. So, general intro. Anything you want from me, Sagittarius, it is in the description box. So if you want the timestamp, it is down there. Information on how to purchase a personal reading with me is down there. If you have questions before you place an order, just email me at the same address that you see listed there, and I will answer as soon as I can. And if you aren't interested in working with me, I would suggest booking a reading sooner rather than later, as there will be changes made to that menu around March. Like I said, new year, new things, trying to manifest and create more things for myself. So a lot of things have to change in terms of how I do this. So again, if you want to lock in those prices now, do so before March. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, feel free to use the link that's provided down below as well, okay? So, 3 cards out here. We're going to start with those, and then we're going to get further messages as we go along. So let's go ahead and get into it. First card that you had came out was the Devil. Primary major, primary major for Capricorn. Could be dealing with a Capricorn, but you don't have to be. The Emperor, major arcana for Aries. Could be dealing, but you don't have to be. And the High Priestess, guess what? Another major arcana, secondary for Cancer and sometimes Pisces. Could be dealing with any of those signs or none of them at all. It is a general, so please, take it all with a grain of salt and feel free to reinterpret for yourselves, okay? Sagittarius, I feel like some of you are in a dispute or in a matter of control, like a tug of war is what this feels like. Very active energy, or like it's very palpable. It's very to the surface. So if you're in a disagreement with a person, it's very obvious. If you're in a fight with someone, it's obvious. Even if you're passive aggressively having a disagreement with someone, it's still very obvious, okay? I feel there's it feels like a battle for position with the Emperor card in the center there. Could be a battle, like, honestly, over a person. It could be the Emperor is a person that is someone wants on their side, someone wants to be close to. Either side of the situation wants to be close to the Emperor, have counsel with the Emperor, support of the Emperor. In some cases, it's like a sucking up, brown-nosing type of thing. So this could be like a workplace storyline for a few of you. And I feel in the case where there's a central person, like this is like potentially a situation with adults who are not behaving very adult-like. It's like, again, sucking up, trying, like each side is trying their best to show whoever's in the middle, I'm the best person to work with, or I'm the person who loves you the most, like shit like that. It's really, bleh. I don't really like that, because Number one, it's manipulative. Either side, if it's literally represented by the devil and the high priestess, either side is really using their innate skills or attributes, but in a low vibe manner, okay? This could be done differently is what this feels like. It does not have to be this sort of tit for tat, like backbiting, gossipy, blah. It's just blah. In other cases, it's not about a person in the middle, but it is about some position of power or aspect of control, aspect, like a job title or a role outside of work. It doesn't have to be work for everybody, but like a role, a position where if I get this role, if I get this position, if I'm told I have access to this, then I call the shots. So in some ways this could be quote unquote, and it's not friendly, but I'm going to use the word friendly competition. It's not friendly at all. But it is, okay, so just competition, just take out friendly. So sometimes it's some type of competition where, again, either side isn't really coming at this in a high vibe manner. Like this is manipulative in a subtle way, and this is maybe more on its face on the surface more manipulative. And I say because I just realized this is Capricorn and this is Cancer. In the astrological wheel and in astrological considerations, this is basically the father and the mother. An emperor also can sometimes be ascribed to father dynamics. So there might be a favoritism of a father or a very prominent masculine person in the situation, and the feminine person or mother figure is at a disadvantage. But, okay, so on its face, that could just be two people in a domestic situation, father, mother. It doesn't have to be male and female to be father, mother. It's about the archetypes of the people or the energy markers that they carry. We could be talking about two females, two males. It doesn't matter. So it feels like both sides in a domestic situation want to be in control, want to lead the family, drive the car, be the one who makes the decisions or makes a particular decision. If not continually makes all of the decisions, just at this time. There's a crucial, pivotal decision or trajectory that one side or both sides want to do it their way, basically, okay? The devil, I think, the masculine energy, the father dynamic, again, it doesn't have to be strictly male or Capricorn, but this one is very much on paper what makes sense, right? What can we point to in reality, in the 3D space that would indicate or support this person taking the lead? If this is a matter of practicality, this is the person advocating for that. The most practical, sensible choice is to do it my way, to allow me to have this seat of position, or to allow me to align with this person. Because again, some of you, the emperor is someone in the middle, caught in the middle, right? So this person is going off of what makes sense in the here and now, in the 3D world that we occupy. If this was a matter of having money, this person says, I have money. They might not. I don't know the rhymes or the reasons, but it's like, if they don't have money, they have better means or capability to make money. And I also feel like this person would argue, again, I'm sensible, I'm logical, I'm pragmatic. If something needs to get done, I get the job done. I don't sit and worry about it. I'm proactive. I'm capable. Very much an I stater. Like, they make a lot of I statements, okay? and they are touting themselves as the best choice, strictly on paper. If this is a matter of competence, they can point to, I'm certified in this, I have test scores in that, I ranked this in my graduating class, blah, 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 right? The other side, the feminine side, the mother side of this, it again doesn't have to be aligned with a female per se, but the other side of this has a more dreamy or less official. And when I say official, again, I mean like textbook, on paper, certifiable, 3D proof. They have less of that. What they do have is creative thought, innovation, compassion, emotion, empathy, all those kinds of things. They could say, I'm a natural at this. You can't really test how someone is natural. There's no barometer of that. There's no way, there's no test to see how instinctual you are. I guess there are, psychologically speaking. But this person is going off of, I don't have all of the expertise. Maybe I don't have the same resources that that person over there has with the devil energy. But what I do have is insight. I have the ability to read a situation. I have an instinctual understanding of possibly what the person in the middle needs. As much as the high priestess might recognize and say, sure, devil energy person over there might say they have the means, the physical resources that are necessary to care for or align with the emperor, provide the emperor with those things. But what I have, you can't quantify it. What I bring to the table is, you can't capture that. It's hard to distill that. It's hard to bring it out and prove it. However, I'm just as capable. Like, both sides feel very capable, and the high priestess is much more abstract. It's much more, you know, quote unquote feelings. And I'm not on either side of this. I don't know who is the better candidate. I don't know who is bringing forth the better argument. But it seems to me that both sides, in their own way, by stating their strengths and their attributes, they think that statement is enough to discredit the other side. So because this side says, well, on paper, you can see I'm accomplishing this, that, and the other. You can see that I'm capable in these ways and that ways. It's, the proof is right down, written in text, or I've got resources. I've got people who can vouch for me, blah, 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 blah. By saying all that assertive stuff about the self is enough to discredit this side, and vice versa. Well, because I have intuition, because I go with my gut, or I've got a natural instinct for this, or I can anticipate, maybe that's it. Also, because the high priestess, in terms of tarot, not necessarily is psychic, but does have a knowingness, possibly premonition, slightly different than a psychic in my estimation. So this person is just like, I can just tell that in the long run, I'm going to be the better candidate, or I can anticipate the needs of the emperor, either the person that is the emperor or the energy that sits there in the middle. This is interesting. So to put that into reality, Sagittarius, this could be a custody fight, a custody battle over, if this was literally a mom and a dad, or a dad and a mom, I should say. If this was literally that, this could be a custody battle. Officially or unofficially, I'm not sure. This can be children of the emperor, because again, the emperor can indicate like a father, but like not the cosmic father. The devil in some ways is the cosmic father, as the high priestess would be the cosmic mother. Emperor is a little bit more in the here and now, in the physical, the father figure, and the empress would be the earthbound mother figure. Do you get me? So this literally could be two children vying over who can take over something that their mutual father has current access to or control of. Again, could be like, you know, running a company, running a business. So I think you guys get me. If this doesn't resonate with you, you know, that's okay. Maybe more messages as they come through, they might resonate, or this just isn't your reading. But for those where it applies, it's a very interesting battle. Mother of Swords. Might be some dicey communication in the storyline, but I wasn't really asking for anything, so I don't want to pay too much attention to that. But let's get further information here for Sagittarius then. Further information regarding the situation for Sagittarius. What is the additional information here for them. 3 cards, please. Show me. Ooh, it didn't fall to the table. That's exactly what I wanted this table for. 1 additional information for Sagittarius. Oh, that's a 2-fer. And we're going to do... No, like that. They want it like that. Okay. And were all of those face down in the beginning? I think so. So again, your second batch also came all the way face down. Or no, I think the High Priestess was up. I can't remember. Anyway, so first one was... this has been coming out. Wheel of Fortune. That's you. That's your secondary card. Sagittarius, Wheel of Fortune. The Empress. Wow. And the Father of wow. That's a lot of symmetry in your reading. Because what came out, but I was like, I don't really want to pay too much attention to it, was the Mother of Swords, aka the Queen of Swords. And then you've got the Father of Swords coming out right now. Oh my God. There's a lot of symmetry in this reading. You know, polarities. Duos and pairs. You know? Alright, so Wheel of Fortune, secondary for you, Sagittarius. Empress, secondary major for Taurus and Libra, could be dealing with one of those signs or not at all. And then the Father of Swords. Now, interesting. They're calling my attention to the moons here. There's a moon here, and a moon here. There's an owl here and an owl here. So, like, all of this is interconnected. You have a very, and look at the image on this, like a tapestry. Like a web. Your energy, or the energy of this reading, Sagittarius, is going, not like in different ways in a haphazard way, but it's like a network, a tapestry. It all leads to something. All parts connect, and it forms a greater picture. Like the tapestry that you can see on like a woven item, like a quilt or something like that. Or a decorative piece that you hang on the wall made of cloth. Each thread connects and is interwoven to make a greater picture. So a lot of you are dealing with something that, signaling back to the High Priestess, is deeply spiritual to you or for you or significant in your spiritual development. That's thematic so far for many of the signs. Not all, but many of the signs are dealing with similar energies right now. And the Wheel of Fortune, your own energy, deals with this prospect of growth and expansion, and in some cases destiny. I'm feeling less of a destiny vibe because other readings have had it come through a little stronger, but you know, it can apply. But the idea that this situation, as much as it's specific to you and you recognize the different characters here, your family members, your friends, bosses, you know, co-workers, whatever, it's actually reflective of what's happening on the macro scale, on a larger scale, on a again, cosmic scale. But it's reflective in your earth experience and vice versa. Now, the timing here, when this is unfolding for you is very significant or important to the story. For some of you, this has not happened yet. For others of you, you dealt with this like a year or two ago or even longer than that. This is just sort of, you know, rehashing what you already know, but now you come back around to it in your memory. Maybe there's an anniversary to speak of that reflects this situation, or that the situation happened, you know, again, like years ago around now, and you're meant to revisit it in your mind or see the same people again in order to, again, grow and expand. If this is unfolding for you right now, maybe this will be the only time you think about it or experience this, but again, the timing is significant to you personally, okay? Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. I neglected to, this card again has come out in a few other readings this month, and I think I've mostly neglected to say that the Wheel of Fortune also can incorporate the fixed sign. So they want me to say that now. So this is your card, Sagittarius, but you can also have some significant tie to a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. They want me to say that. I've neglected to mention it before. I'm going to be honest. But anyway, so it could be for some of you that the two sides are interested in expanding their base, are interested in growing things for themselves, selfishly perhaps. Tread lightly with the idea of selfishness, but there is this focus on how is this going to be better for me? How am I going to grow from this? Or what is happening here that's going to enhance my life? Something here is sort of developing. Yeah. Developing, and both sides want a piece of it. They don't want to miss out on the development. That's it. Like, if this is an opportunity, a job, a role, a position, you don't want to miss the opportunity because it's going to help you. That's the idea. It's what you need, right? There's this idea of need here. Again, maybe a little bit tied to this concept or perception of destiny, and both sides feel that, okay? And that applies too if we're talking about any type of battle over family issues or custody, right? If both sides think the kids should go with them, or if not kids, the company, the house should be theirs. There's something about I need that, the kids, the house, the company, the property, the money, the car, whatever. I need it with me so that I can continue to grow and expand and work with my destiny or be on my path of destiny. That's the perception. Whether or not that's the reality, I don't know. Interesting. What else is happening here? Please show me. It could, okay, thank you. What I was just saying about destiny and all that kind of stuff, it could heavily, that could heavily be the perspective of the feminine side, the mother side of this, the more feminine side, because the moon is here, here, and here, and this, and this all kind of give me that vibe. The high priestess might think of themselves as a mother archetype, or have this motherly instinct and insight, again, that's associated with the Empress, and that could be their destiny in their mind. My destiny is to be a good mother to these kids. My destiny is to bring compassion and caring into a home situation, a family situation, an employment situation, whatever. And it's an instinct. It's there. It hangs in the background in everything this person does or says. Okay? I don't want to exclude the devil energy from having this idea of destiny, but because the moon is 3 times replicated on these 3 cards, I kind of feel like it's more heavily the high priestess. But the empress energy, okay, transformative. So where the emperor has ruled, this more masculine, dominant, powerful, outwardly powerful, externally powerful, explosive energy has led. Maybe an iron fist has led the charge, has been in charge of the family, the patriarch of the family, or just the head of the family. Could, again, still be in the body of a female. This person is like, I want to take over as the leader of the family, the head of the family, the person who has influence, but do it compassionately. Do it with intuitive insight. Do it with the aspect of nurturing being the center focus. So, yeah. Both approaches have their pros and cons. They are equal to each other. They are the duality partners of each other. So where one is weak, the other is strong, and vice versa, but not weak to the point of incapable. Anything that the emperor is not great at, or excuse me, not the best at, is not a failure, and vice versa. So when it comes to being demonstrative or explosive and leading with that type of roar, like just go get it, and just like get it done, and being that pragmatic or aggressive self, the empress can do that, but it's not the instinct to do that. It's not the natural provocation or proclivity, right? It's not the natural option for the empress to do that, but it's possible. Okay. Other than that, it could be another person, if not just how this high priestess is viewing themselves in the situation. There could be, again, if the father, the earth father, has been leading the charge, in control this whole time, it could be that the earth mother wants their turn at the table, or their turn at the driver's seat. Or if I'm honest, it's very interesting. It could be the earth father may have had control of something, assets, again, a business, something like that, and the children possibly are vying for control. And they might mutually be ignoring the earth mother. So the wife of the emperor, in a settlement, in a legal dispute, in a passing of the baton sort of thing, is being looked over, as if to say, well, dad has done this for 30 years. Now that he's gone, or he's retiring, or he's stepping down, or whatever, one of us should naturally take up the mantle. And the wife is kind of like, excuse me? I know this company better than you two, because me and your father made it. I know what it takes to get this job done, or take up this role in leadership, because I've been doing it side by side with this emperor energy. Who the hell are you two? You know, and I'm being a little facetious with the way I'm phrasing that, but it's sort of like this. It could be the high priestess and the devil are discounting the empress, not even thinking he or she, whoever embodies this energy, is even factoring in. So that happens sometimes. Let's say it this way. If this was a custody situation, mother, father, and they're fighting over their kids, and the kids are, tug of war in the middle kind of shit. This could be the grandparents, or one of the grandparents saying, look how nasty you two are being. Look how you're fighting. You both are dysfunctional, or you both have things you got to work on. And in the meantime, the kids are going to come with me. You get what I mean? Like, there's sort of like this trying to outdo the other side of this. It could be between two people or three or more people. Each person is like, it's my time to shine. My time to shine. Wheel of Fortune. Father of Swords. Very interesting. What is this about? Air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with an air sign. You don't have to be. Why don't you focus better? I hate you. Really? Come on. There. Jeez. For God's sakes. This is really stumping me. Who is this? I really don't think this is if it's someone in the situation, they're not very loud. They're very quiet. They might just be generally observing the situation. Could be you, Sagittarius, by the way. Even though it's air sign energy, this could be you. Like, you could just be a cousin, or like, an employee, and you're like listening to the hot gossip in the office. Did you know that there's a fight over power? And you're like, oh, tell me more about it. And simply sipping your coffee and listening. So maybe that's it. Someone here is just generally observing the situation, not necessarily weighing in. Because the Father of Swords, King of Swords, is a master of communication, is a master of higher learning, or intellect and all that kind of stuff, but isn't necessarily the most talkative person in the room, okay? And the staring, like this owl is staring at me, so it's just like, just watching and not saying a thing. So if this was a court situation, this would be the judge. I forgot to do this. What's the bottom of the deck? Or bottom of the deck is the overall energy. I should say 8 of Cups. Absolutely. So this could be the judge, or a mediator who's listening to testimony, who's hearing out everybody's side here, and will make a judgment at a later time, or give their official opinion about something. Doesn't have to be a judge. Could be like a family counselor. Could be a court-appointed child welfare officers, that type of situation. And they're simply here to observe and make official documentation and, submit it to the court. So they don't even necessarily verbally speak, but their communication can come through written correspondence, right? And yet, owls have wisdom, right? Traditionally, not traditionally, but one of the common things that we attribute to owls is this idea of wisdom, this idea of having that higher perspective that allows them to see more of the situation. And there's an owl here on the Wheel of Fortune, and I told you that the Wheel of Fortune is very expansive, kind of aims to have that bird's eye view, that higher perspective, yes? So this person, whoever it is keying themselves into all the details that each side of this situation is presenting, and will make a wise decision or give wise counsel, advisory or advisement, right? It could be very unofficial. For many of you, it feels super official. Like this is court, this is mandated, this is being overseen by a council of people or like a particular person. You get what I mean. Others of you, it's way less official. And it's just a good friend or a close friend of the family or a family member who isn't directly involved. So like a cousin, an uncle, an auntie, whatever. This person does not have a direct dog in the fight. They might have care and compassion and concern over everybody involved, but it's certainly, whatever the outcome is, will not directly impact this person. Eight of Cups as the overall energy. Did I show it? No, I don't think I did. So where we have built up, where we have this strong foundation with the mountain in the background, it's cracked, it's chipped. Okay? So if this is family, things are really rotten. Maybe rotten's not the best thing I should have said. Things are really shaky at this time. Like earthquake has happened here, and it's really, because what is an earthquake? An earthquake is a shifting of tectonic plates, right? So as things, I think that's what happens with an earthquake. The earth is resettling itself beneath the surface on a subterranean level, which, is good for the planet or good for the earth in some type of way, because it needs to be shifted, or it naturally does after years and years of pressure. But on the surface, it creates so much destruction. Yes. Yes. I love it. I love when things work out symbolically for me. So now it's my job to interpret it for you or tell you what I saw. So again, that shifting of plates under the surface, that's good. Like I think it's good, at least. I'm not, a geologist or anything like that, but I feel it's the natural thing. It naturally happens. Earthquakes don't happen as a form of punishment. It's not here to purposely disrupt our lives. It's just a natural phenomenon, right? But on the surface, we humans and other animals who have to live up here on the top, we're like, Jesus Christ, this sucks. This was awful. Wheel of Fortune can be that. Wheel of Fortune is the natural, progressive turning of the wheel. It will not stop. Earthquakes, other types of natural disasters will not stop. It's just the natural way the ecosystem works here on this planet. And just about any other planet, they have their own, natural phenomenon in terms of weather systems, right? It naturally happens with or without our input, right? The wheel will continue to turn with or without our input. No matter what side we stand on, no matter what side or perspective that we have, opinion that we have, it will occur. The turning of time, or the turning of the wheel, the passage of time. As much as many of us would be like, oh man, I wish I could just have lived at 26 and that's like the perfect age for me. I wish I could have stopped. But guess what? That's not how it is. We all will progressively change and become older and, all that stuff. So that's what it feels like with this Eight of Cups. Despite the foundation, despite the work that we've put in to climb this mountain or sustain something, because mountains equal either something to climb or it's a firm foundation, there still is a chance that it all cracks, that it all gets destroyed. And that, unfortunately, can be a natural phenomenon. plus 8 of Cups in terms of traditional tarot interpretation, Sagittarius, equals emotional dissatisfaction. So someone here, at least one person, but I feel it's many people, are just dissatisfied with what is happening. And when you're dissatisfied with something, what do? You just sit there and take it? Nope. That's unhealthy. So you eventually walk away from it. You eventually seek to find emotional satisfaction and contentment. What's the outcome here for Sagittarius, please, in this reading? What is the outcome of this reading, potential outcome of this reading for Sagittarius, please? The outcome here for Sagittarius in this reading. Ooh, stubborn. This energy is running, hiding, not ready. Oh, you fell to the floor. I got a table and I wasn't meant for that to happen, but I can actually get it without disturbing my wires. Pow. That's the difference. Now, Magician. Secondary major for Virgo as well as Gemini. I almost called Virgo the Hermit. Anyway. Well, I gotta be honest. There is a chance, I guess I should say, not tendency. I do feel that in this situation, because you've got many people here. So, Sagittarius, you or someone else might turn to manipulative tactics, showcasey tactics, creating, unfortunately, an illusion in the situation, because that's what magicians do. They create illusions. They make us believe something is happening when it's not really happening. So in a lowish vibe, someone here might say some things, do some things that are not necessarily true in order to gain an outcome that they're seeking. All right? A magician wants us to believe there was always a rabbit in the hat, and the rabbit was never in the hat. The rabbit was inside, a jacket pocket. Like that's the ruse. But for the purposes of putting on a good show, the magician has to convince us the rabbit was in the hat the entire time. Not true. Just not true. We all know that, right? So that's what someone in some of your situations could be attempting to do. Make an illusion. In other cases, let me see. In other cases, this is resiliency because of the sunburst that's there in the top of the card, in the top corner. Like there is some darkest before dawn type of feel. Meaning, if someone comes out of a situation bruised, battered, defeated, this is them turning to themselves, turning to their own power, to their own ability to create, to manifest, to recreate, to reinvent, whatever, and start over anew and be better off. Well, not better off, but make the best out of a bad situation, right? So, also is a tendency, just for a few, to have a high, this is very specific for like one or two of you. There could be a really, really like harsh truth coming through. Like almost painful what someone says or does in this for the sake of being authentic and honest. Like painful even to the self. Like a painful admission of wrongdoing or past deeds that were manipulative. Enlightenment is basically what I'm saying. But it can be interpreted or felt and perceived as painful or awkward or disturbing. But in the grand scheme of things, Wheel of Fortune, very, very pivotal or helpful and attributing to the growth of somebody. Something like that, okay? Sagittarius, that's your reading for January. My. What an interesting reading this was. If you liked it, if you found something here that resonated with you, feel free to like the video and leave a comment down below. I'd love to read your guys' comments. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, okay? That way you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to, again, get at me for a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Sag, I'll be back soon to do your mid-January readings. Until then, my friends, I thank you so much for watching. Take care.